Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Daymond John.
How you doing?
What is going on? I mean, from shark to fortune teller, Damon.
Yeah, yeah, that's me, I think. Yeah.
How's it? I mean, fresh off your Masked Singer elimination, like, has it sunk in? I know it's only been a few hours. Like, how is this experience?
Oh no, it didn't. It sunk in a long time ago. It sunk in when I was there in that box and Hart sang put out her first word. It sunk in, and so I've had a lot of time to think about it, and it was just such an amazing experience that I would recommend anybody if they have the opportunity to do it. They got to do it.
I mean, listen, when I think of Daymond John, I think of Shark Tank, I think of FUBU, I think of really one of the most well-known and successful entrepreneurs, but I definitely don't think singer. Like, what drew you to this experience?
Well, thank you. I don't believe that I'm a singer as well. I think that like most people, I don't like my voice. I don't like hearing, my voice just talking. When you use that the voice recorder and you heard yourself, you're like, oh, ah. So I don't like that at all. I haven't gotten used to that after 14 years on national television. But what led me to do it? I like testing myself. I like being vulnerable. But it really is the mask because Dancing with the Stars. I don't know if I would do that. I mean, you would see, there's no mask on. You see me sweating and, I mean, just doing all kind of stuff like that. But this one, I could have messed up for the entire time. But when I take off the mask, it's just a little bit of pain and then I leave, right? So I think you get some courage underneath the mask.
I know it just happened with the elimination, but like, have you heard from anyone? Like, have you heard from any of your fellow sharks or anyone else?
Oh, yeah, I heard from everybody and super supportive, way more supportive than I thought, because I don't know, a lot of people, wow, couldn't believe it, what courage. I mean, I don't even have any, I mean, even Kevin, I mean, the number one hater in the world, it was like, wow, cool. How can I get you on stage and get a royalty from that? So, it was been amazing.
Which of your fellow sharks do you think would go far in this competition or would maybe benefit from this experience of being on the Masked Singer?
That's interesting because I think that Cuban, who Mark used to, I think, teach disco lessons. He went, way up there on Dancing with the Stars. I think Robert has such energy, amazing. So they would, give him, I don't know what kind of songs. You got to think of some happy songs that Robert would sing. So I think those two would really go far. I think they would go far, to be very honest.
What about Barbara? I don't know. This just has Barbara written all over it to me.
Barbara would do it for sure, 120%. Yeah, the only one who I don't think would do it would be Lori. I was just talking to her team this morning. I said I would give a kidney if I could see her in a scrub daddy outfit dancing around with some toilet seats around her somewhere around on stage. But I don't think we can get Lori in that.
Did you apply? Listen, you've doled out such great business advice over 14 seasons on Shark Tank. Like, did you apply any business advice like going into this? You seem like you're a man that always has a plan.
Yeah, the only thing that I did apply, and I got to tell you, it wasn't my idea. It was one of the, I don't know, one of the costume people is I applied to stay in character at the end of the day because, when you think about businesses and everything else, a lot of times people want to get so granular on the business itself. And I knew going into there that I cannot compete from being a singer, right? If I tried to concentrate on the words and this and that, I'm never going to win, right? But I'm over 50 and I know how to do the robot. That's an asset. The robot will always be an asset, right? So always be in show mode, which hopefully is what led me to at least win against, the mummies, which were great. But at the end of the day, I went up against somebody that, I mean, her voice sounded like an angel. Even though I was robbed, her voice still sounded like an angel.
Do you have any like who would you guess the harp is? I mean, I can never guess these things. You get when it's
I
revealed,
don't
you're
have
like,
any, I don't watch too much TV, but and I just did Jennifer Hudson's show probably like 2 weeks ago, and Jennifer Hudson is extremely slim, and the harp was not as slim as Jennifer Hudson. She reminded me of a little bit of the old Jennifer Hudson, but I don't know. Whoever it is, man, if she's doing anything else, she just better drop it all and become a singer, because when those tears started shedding after she started singing, I mean, it's one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard. And maybe because I was about 6 feet away from her when she started singing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing.
Wow. Well, listen, like I said, Shark Tank 14th season, you're heading into Kardashian's territory here. Like this is one of the most
Yeah.
successful reality. Like what do you attribute the success? I mean, it's a great show, but what do you attribute the success
I
to
think
Shark
it's the
Tank?
same with as the success of the Masked Singer. I think it's seeing people stripped down and being vulnerable to be judged. Like all of us, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be stripped down and judged. I think it's unpredictable, as just the Masked Singer has changed up their format this year. You don't know what's going to happen on Shark Tank. It's very unpredictable. And Shark Tank, the difference of that is that, today it is exactly why Shark Tank started. Shark Tank started in 07, 08 when we couldn't find any money. People were jobless and we were frustrated and angry, and we wanted to empower ourselves and stop working for somebody else. And that's full circle where we are today. And when those people get on that stage, the Sharks learn way more from them than they learn from us. And everyday people can be on that stage, look at that stage and say, one day I'm going to be that person, or tomorrow I'm going to start a business and I'm going to take care of my family. And I think that that's what makes Shark Tank a success. The sharks are not important on Shark Tank. It's more about the contestants and what they're, how they're changing their lives and empowering others.
Well, speaking of the contestants, I mean, one of our advertisers here over the past several years has been Bombas socks. So shout out to Bombas, but the most successful product in Shark Tank history. I mean, what just made you invest in Bombas and you said, hey, this could be a winner?
Yeah, keeping in the theme of this, if you strip it all down, the last thing I went on to the show to diversify my portfolio. I had already 10 clothing companies, 8 of them were dead. So the last thing I wanted to buy was socks. But when you stripped it down, Dave and Randy are the most amazing people, and they had a drive to not only change the world in a better way for themselves, but for those in the homeless community, and they wanted people to come along with the ride, and the proof was there. And I couldn't resist these guys. Even till today, very few people know who they are because they don't care about that. They care about changing lives. And up to till they gave away now, I think, over 80 million pieces of garments of clothes with the help of everybody who purchases to those in need. So it's going to always go down to the person, what people invest in.
How often do you rub it in Kevin's face that you have the most successful product in Shark Tank history?
Um, I rub it in his face every time I do an interview. Every time I do an interview, I say, don't remember, when you see my fellow sharks that I call underachievers, who is the lead shark with the #1 product in Shark Tank history? And they try to do some, no, well, numbers is all about per quarter. I don't care. Shut up. I'm the best.
Numbers don't